Filterless podcast, baby. We are back, Dr. KK. How you been, brother?
Back. Hi, Mike. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Too, man. Always good to see you. Man.
Yeah, we had a couple back-to-back ones here.
Oh, this is fun. Every week, let's do it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's early afternoon too, so it's not that late. Normally we're coming in here at 6 o'clock, but right now it's only 4:30. It's nice.
That's good.
Nice to get started early. We got a lot to go over today, so we're going to jump right in. We are going to talk about, obviously, the number one story in the world right now, which is the Operation Epic Fury and the war in Iran. It's been almost exactly 4 weeks, a little over 4 weeks, that we've been doing this war thing with Iran. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Easter, Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday, and what's going on in Israel right now with Christianity and the Christians. We also have some updates on some Charlie Kirk assassination developments. Apparently the bullet, they can't find a real good match to the fragments from the gun of Tyler Robinson. And so that's not good, which means that the gun that was found at the scene might not be the gun that was used in the... And again, I want to say alleged or might because they don't know for sure yet.
No, this is just the defense, yeah.
We can dive into a little bit of the Erica Kirk conspiracy with Drewski, which I think is hilarious. And then the Joe Kent resignation and what all that looks like. So we're going to jump right in, brother.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
All right.
World War III.
Yeah, World War III. I guess technically it is. I mean, at this point.
It's got to be, man.
I guess
to me,
it's not World War yet, but from what Marco Rubio and Donald Trump is saying, it seems like a bunch of our allies are going to be involved here very, very soon.
Because of the Strait of Hormuz.
Try to get this Strait of Hormuz opened up.
Yeah.
One of the things that did come out is that Trump did say that whether or not we have the Strait or not, we are probably going to be backing out of this war. Now, how much I believe of that, I'm not 100% sure. As with anything that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth right now, you can't really, 100% believe what he says. And I think a lot of that is because it's wartime, right? I mean, he's not going to come out and just say exactly what we're about to do, when we're about to do it, and things that previous presidents would have done.
He's just all over the place, Mike. I don't know.
But I think that, the phrase "the fog of war" is true.
Sure. Everything's changing very fast.
I think everything changes so quickly.
Sure.
And I also think that they can't just give up what we're doing or what we're thinking about doing. And
but what the stuff he's saying is more just like overall objectives here. Like he's not giving them like their defense plans and like what they're going to do. He's just basically saying.
But he has come out and basically said that whether or not the Strait of Hormuz is 100% opened or not, we will probably be pulling out of this war relatively soon.
Well, then what's up with all the ground troops being deployed? Okay, here's my question.
I think that's another thing. I think that everything is still on the table, but I think what Trump is doing is he's saying, look, I'm ready to take this to the next level if y'all want to go to the next level.
Yeah.
I would rather take this off-ramp right here and just call it a day. And if we can get a deal negotiated with y'all.
What's the deal?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it was a 15-point plan that came out. And let me see what.
And that goes back to our whole,
our
whole thing in the first place is like, well, what is the deal? What is the objective? What are you negotiating? Like, what do you want? Obviously, they said they wanted regime change, and that didn't really happen, no matter what Trump says.
All right. Let's see what this 15-point peace plan is. Nuclear program dismantlement.
Sure, already was.
Iran must abandon its nuclear program, dismantle major nuclear sites, and halt uranium enrichment. Missile constraints, imposing strict limits on Iran's ballistic missile program. Maritime access, the immediate reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Regional influence, a pullback of Iranian support for regional proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah. Economic incentives, the proposal reportedly offers significant sanctions relief in exchange for these concessions. Initially, they rejected the proposal and says that recent claims on March 30th, yesterday, President Trump claimed while on Air Force One that Iran has begun conceding to most of the 15 points, though he has not specified which ones. And escalation risk, despite these reported major progress talks, the U.S. military has simultaneously ramped up forces in the region, and Trump has mentioned the possibility of seizing Iranian oil resources if a deal is not finalized. And so I think what Trump is doing is he's laying every card out on the table. basically saying, hey, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The easy way is let us come in, let us take your uranium out of your silos or wherever you've got them, let us have it. Let us dismantle your nuclear program, which, I think at this point, if we haven't bombed it, we probably are about to, if we know where it's at this, at this juncture in time. And I think basically say, if you do all of this, we will, release all the sanctions on your government and allow you to sell oil to the rest of the world.
I heard, and I'll try and fact check myself here, but I heard that Iran on multiple occasions throughout all these negotiations that they've been having, don't forget half the time where they have people try and negotiate, they get sniped or taken out. That's why Iran is scared to negotiate because, and I don't blame them. I mean, every time they try and set something, and this has happened multiple times. They try and set something up in Qatar. Remember that attack in Qatar where they hit the negotiators?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to negotiate, and then boom, you're dead. I mean, come on. Iran, I believe, has said multiple times, fine, we don't have to make a nuke. Like, that's okay. Like, that's totally okay with us. And, to them, I think, Mike, what that does is that tells them, look, like, we're not as big of a threat as you guys think we are. The same reason why they said we're not making missiles more than 4,000 kilometers, right? Because they never wanted the U.S. to be able to say, you guys have the ability to hit us.
So do you still think that those two 4,000-mile missiles were false flags?
I think it's possible. I don't know. I think it's possible. I heard that it was an Israeli submarine false flag. That's what I heard. And again, that's the thing, Mike. We don't know. Who knows? Who knows, man? I don't know.
I was watching some clips of Brett Weinstein on his Dark Horse podcast. And one of the things that he was talking about, one of the podcasts that I was watching, was about how to think about things. And he pulled out this chart that he had Cloud AI build for him, and it was basically like you can't rule anything out 100% ever with any of these things.
Well,
so there's always the possibility that what you think is true is false, and what you think is false is true, whether it be 0.001% or 99%. Right? It doesn't whichever way, but there's always a chance that what you're seeing isn't actually the truth. And so what's the best way to think about these things, knowing that we don't know the full story?
Well, I can tell you as a Palestinian who watched the G word unfold in the Gaza Strip, I was witness to lie after lie after lie after lie. And it's like, so for me, it's just, they're liars. They just lie. They lie constantly. And so for them, it's not a big deal. It's just normal for them to lie. So false flags, don't get me started on their false flags. They're all over the place. So
I know that the U.S. has done it before in the past too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gulf of Tonkin was the
big
one for that the U.S. was responsible for that I know of. So the Diego Garcia hit, was it a false flag? Maybe. I mean, I'm not ruling it out. I don't know. But I did double check. For you. Iran did not claim responsibility for that hit. Remember, we talked about that. And then, so my question to you is, why would they hit it if they're not going to claim responsibility for it? That part was a little confusing to me. That wouldn't make sense.
Well, and there's, why would the U.S. say that they took out all of Iran's nuclear capabilities and then literally a few months later be like, nope, we have to go in and bomb them again because they have nuclear capabilities? It's like, wait a minute. A few months ago, you said you just destroyed it and set it back 10 years.
What happened to that? What was it? Do they call it the 12-day
So they were either lying before or they were lying after.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of those
it doesn't
is
make
a
sense.
lie.
It's not adding up. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. No,
Right.
it's not adding up.
Yeah.
And so that you're starting to see the pattern here. It's
and on both sides.
Both sides,
right?
yeah, both sides.
I mean, not to throw you under the bus, but you sent me a speech from Trump the other day, and it had been edited in a way to where it made him sound like he confirmed that the Gerald Ford had been hit by an Iranian missile or drone or whatever. Sure. And then when you actually watch the speech, those were two completely separate talks that he was talking about.
I didn't even
one
watch
of them
it.
was Iran, and one of them was and one of them was about
I didn't watch
Venezuela.
It was
and they
sent,
mixed it together to where it sounded like he was talking about the Ford.
It was sent to me, and then I sent it to you. I didn't even watch it. But
and then I was like, this can't be right. And so I went to the actual speech, sped it up by 2 times, and watched the whole speech. And then you can hear him say this first part when he's talking about the Ford. But then there's 15 minutes in between when he says the second part, because at that moment he's actually talking about Venezuela and what they did in Venezuela.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think the USS Gerald Ford could have been hit?
Could have, yes.
Yeah, definitely, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if you were, okay, like for me,
Now,
I'm
they have-
leaning
they have
more
pictures
towards
of
it was
They
hit.
have pictures of it when it's pulling into dock
Sure.
to get fixed.
Yeah.
And from the outside, it looks like nothing's wrong with the
Okay,
ship.
okay.
So to me, it seems like the most plausible thing is that there was an internal fire.
Internal fire, okay.
Right? But that doesn't mean that I'm ruling out 100%
Yeah, I don't know.
that there wasn't an attack on the Ford.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm the same. It's just if I had to guess, I would say that it was hit. If I had to guess, just based off of my hunch, based off of my
Right. Yeah.
following this war from the beginning, from its inception, seeing who lies, seeing who doesn't lie. That's my gut feeling. But again, will we ever know? Maybe, maybe
Yeah.
not. I'm not sure.
Brett Weinstein on his Dark Horse podcast also had someone that lives in Israel on his podcast. Did you see this? The lady that lives in Israel, and she's a biologist as well, and she's come out very, very strongly against the mRNA vaccine. And so he calls her and he just says, "I want to see what it's like living over there right now."
Sure.
And she says, it's pretty normal.
Oh.
She said, honestly, she's like, I was surfing yesterday, and
Do you remember where she's probably not in Tel Aviv, or do you know where
she
she
used
is?
to live in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
She still has friends that live in Tel Aviv
Yeah.
that she's in some communication with. But she said that she's like, you also have to remember that Israelis that live here,
They're used to it.
they're used to it.
Yeah, they're used to it.
So
They're used to
she's like-
sirens and
she's
bumpers
like,
and stuff. Yeah.
If you hear the thing, everybody just goes to the shelter.
Sure.
Once it passes, everybody basically gets out and just continues on their day.
right.
They continue to go to the grocery store to get their oil changed, to go to work, all these things, and it's just part of living here now.
I think Tel Aviv has gotten hit the hardest. I mean, out of every place in Israel, that seems to be the one that's continuously
She
bombarded.
definitely said, after talking with some friends, that there has been some damage for sure. But she said, I wouldn't call it destruction by any stretch of the imagination. And she's like, and this is from people that live there, that are there currently and things like that. So she even says, she said the defenses that we have are crazy.
Well,
She's like, because you can see them.
Sure.
She's like, you can see the missiles coming. She's like, I'm in the north of Israel. And so she's like, all of the bombs, all of the missiles fly directly over us going into central Israel, basically. And she's like, you can see it happening like in real time.
Yeah.
She's like, you'll see it, you'll hear the alarm, you'll see it, and then you'll see an interceptor hit it. And she's like, you see 10 a day.
Yeah, but you've seen CNN journalists in Tel Aviv, and they have to take cover and all the stuff. And the CNN stuff I sent you, the people in Lebanon, and they recently were apprehended by some like settlers or some IDF guys, and then they supposedly got in trouble for apprehending CNN because obviously they don't know they're CNN, but that's what they do. They apprehend everybody, and it's the biggest problem is that there's a law that says if you're like an Israeli civilian and you film damage and you put it on the internet, it's like 5 years in prison, I think. What's up with that?
Well, you also know that that's a law here in the U.S. too, right?
I don't know. Is it? What's the point of that? You don't want people to know what the hell's going on?
No. What you don't want is you don't want your enemies to know exactly where they hit. And so if you start showing them exactly where these missiles have hit, then they know exactly what's been hit and what's not. And so that's the justification of it.
Sure.
But we have a very, very similar law here to where if we were at war on home soil here, don't think that our Congress and our people wouldn't shut down the internet and not allow us to send images as well.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing here because
Can you make sure that that's
yeah,
true?
do double
about
check that because Mike, you got it, man. What are they going to do?
laws
Lock
here in
up
the
every
US?
TikToker? I mean, all these kids. Could you imagine if there was like an attack here? And God forbid that ever happened. But if it was, they'd have their phones out like they're at a freaking weekend concert, dude, right
for
away,
sure.
all over. And so it'd be all over the place. They wouldn't be able to stop it. It's too much here. And we're so used to being free to where we show everybody everything,
Yeah.
So.
What do you think the goal here is actually?
Oh.
Like, what do you think I don't necessarily 100% believe that we were doing this for what they say we're doing it for. Now, whether that's, I believe it, 10%, 20%, 100%, 80%.
But
I'm not
be
sure,
more
but-
specific. What, you're talking about freeing the people of Iran so the
Well,
girls
I
can
think
wear miniskirts?
obviously now we realize that was never in the cards.
think so.
The freeing of the people was
think so.
never
I think
part
so.
of the
Yeah.
justification
Good.
at
Okay.
all.
I'm glad
I
people are
think
realizing
that the
now.
justification of it was maybe exactly what they said, which was they can't have a nuclear bomb, and that we need to regime change enough to where the people that are going to be in charge don't want to kill everybody on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the two things that they're kind of sticking with still. But
Yeah.
what do you think, knowing that that's probably only partially true, right? I think there is some truth to it, but how much of that's not 100% the reason.
No.
So what do you think the actual reason is?
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. Israel has only one person that can really check them, and that's Iran, right? That's it. Syria, done. The president of Syria is former ISIS right now. Lebanon has their own set of issues, and they already took over 20% of southern Lebanon. They blew. They're
in right now.
They're stealing
IDF
land.
soldiers are in
They're
Lebanon.
stealing it all the way to the Litani River. That's 20% of Lebanon. There's 1 million refugees that were created. It's like a whole nother Nakba of the Palestinians in 48, and ironically, no one's even talking about it. I think it's wild.
Because of what's going on in Iran.
Yeah, there's too much of a distraction. And again, that's another reason why I think they faked Bibi's death. It was just total distraction so that people get so focused on that they don't see what's going on. Lebanon can't fight against Israel alone. Syria, they're done. He's getting sprayed with cologne in the White House. Jordan has always been a puppet of Israel for a very long time. Now, King Hussein, when he gets up there and he gives speeches about the Palestinian people, he talks a good talk. I mean, I've seen his speeches and I've seen what he says. But in reality, he's not doing anything for us. He never has, and he probably never will. Egypt, same thing. Egypt is completely entangled with Israel. They own Egypt, and Egypt can do nothing. So they've already neutralized all of their neighbors, per se. And ironically, the only people defending the Palestinians are not even Arabic. They're not even Arabic. They don't speak Arabic. They're not Arabs. I think it's wild. In my mind, I was always like, why do they care so much? Like, why? Like, it didn't even really make sense to me. I was like, this is weird. Of course, there's a religious connection. I understand that. Saudi, totally bought and sold. UAE, same thing. Qatar is the only one that kind of has a little bit of push for us. And then Yemen are the only people left to it. Yemen has stood up for Palestine time and time again. And I think, did they close that Bab-el something strait? There's another like sort of baby Strait of Hormuz where they were talking about they were going to close it. The Houthis.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
So-
gonna squeeze in real quick.
Sure.
So this is going back to the U.S. law about media coverage of, like, let's say, national security. So in the Espionage Act of 1917, I
Damn.
see there's media cannot publish classified information that endangers military operations or reveals sensitive intelligence.
Yeah, that's media. We're talking about just like civilians
Yeah, but
recording something.
They would immediately say that.
Listen, hopefully we never find out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
the chances of us finding out if they'll do it or not are pretty slim. I don't think anybody's gonna
the
try
people that
anything on-
recorded on 9/11 got in trouble?
Well, a lot of those were confiscated, yes.
Yeah, a lot of them were
So,
confiscated.
uh,
why?
so-
Yeah.
But
So,
why?
yes.
Why
So
were
they already did it.
Yeah, but why? That's a whole
But
separate
that's what I'm
topic.
saying. They already did it.
Yeah, but they confiscated it for a totally separate reason than to protect their
No,
enemies'
that's
information.
but that's exactly why they would do it.
No, they did it exactly because they didn't want people to see the truth about 9/11.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but the conspiracy behind it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
No,
Yeah,
I know what
yeah,
you're saying,
yeah.
but that's exactly why they would have that law is to make sure that it doesn't go out.
Well, hopefully there's not another conspiracy false flag attack on this soil. That'd be great. You know what I'm saying?
I think we already had one
With the Austin thing?
on 9/11.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's terrible. So, I don't know. I hope that nothing happens here, guys. This thing needs to be resolved. Everyone needs to chill. Open the Strait of Hormuz. Let Iran do it.
Yeah,
But
so-
I think Iran has all the cards right now. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I know I come across as like a Gee, I hate.
Yeah, the Bab el Mandeb Strait did close.
They closed it
late. The Houthi rebels in Yemen announced the
Like-
closure of this strait.
like recently.
Late 2026 March. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean it's late
yeah,
2026
yeah.
March right now.
And supposedly, Mike, Europe is on fire right now. Europe can't get oil. Like Europe is in trouble. Like the UK, France, a lot of these NATO countries, they are bitching at the U.S. big time.
I gotta tell you, this is what they've wanted for forever, though, is to get off of oil. I mean, they've put so many dadgum solar
Electric
farms
stuff, yeah.
and wind farms and everything there. You would think if that stuff works, that they'd be
Yeah,
okay.
which, by the way,
But obviously, that stuff don't work.
And I've been thinking a lot about oil, a lot. I am all for renewable energy. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. It's just don't force me to get an EV if I don't want one, right? And also, it's like you cannot take your foot off of the pedal when it comes to oil because the infrastructure of this world can't support
It's
it.
the lifeblood of every economy.
Exactly. It's the black blood of the world economy.
Of the world economy.
You cannot survive without oil right
Almost every product known to man is made with
yeah,
some kind of petroleum
now. I
based.
mean, and hopefully one day we do get rid of it. I mean, it's not good for the planet. We know that. The carbon footprint's bad. I mean, these are facts. It's not like we're a conspiracy here. It's bad. It's just
Well, yes
come
and
up.
no.
What?
What is bad about putting carbon into the atmosphere?
Look at the 18-wheeler in front of you. All that black smoke going up into the sky. You want that crap?
Do you know what trees live off of?
Not that black smoke.
That crap.
No. Trees live off of
Carbon.
carbon dioxide. I know this.
Which is what comes out of the car.
Yeah. Now,
It's the reason why the planet's so green right now.
yeah, but it's not like the
should
tree.
look this
It's
up,
not.
I'm
It's
dead
not like
serious.
the trees are getting any benefit of the black smoke coming out of the 18-wheeler.
It's literally carbon. It's
No,
literally what they eat.
but no, they get it from the air. Listen, 18-wheelers are not helping the trees, Mike. I'm usually
Look it
the
up.
worst conspiracy theory than you, but
Look it up.
you're. Oh
Does
God.
the emissions from your
Car help trees?
vehicle
Good
help
God.
trees grow?
Why can't we see stars in Houston? That actually pisses me off. I'd love to see stars. I'd love to see them.
There is a benefit.
Oh, come on. There's pollution
Vehicle
everywhere.
emissions technically contain carbon dioxide, which trees use for photosynthesis to grow.
Oh, that's fantastic. You're killing me.
I told you. I mean, they do say that it creates ozone, which causes some things to yellow and die. But
Houston.
it is one of the main reasons why the Earth is so green right now.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that like one volcano that goes poop like this just for like 30 seconds is more emissions than every car on the planet gives out in like 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like,
I believe
what are
it.
we doing?
No, I
What-
believe
one little volcano somewhere just goes bloop,
Yeah.
and it's like that's 10 years worth of
Yeah.
fuel emissions from cars.
Oh, can we hit on dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go off
Okay.
script here.
Okay, we got
just since we're talking about
pull it up
oil and emissions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, to me, the dinosaur thing does seem a little flat
Okay,
earthy.
let me put some context to it.
Yeah.
So there is a lady out there that is basically saying, or I don't know if it's just a lady, but what I saw was a lady that is basically saying that the whole conspiracy around dinosaurs is that dinosaurs actually never really existed. They were actual dragons.
Yeah.
And that the governments over the years
Yeah.
have tried to hide this from us
Yeah.
because it would be too crazy.
Yeah.
Now, dinosaurs by themselves, I think, are crazy enough.
Yeah.
Like to think about animals that were that mega.
Yeah.
And to have mega fauna that was here that, fed those types of animals. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a little far stretched.
It
but
seems flat earthy to me, but it is interesting that if you go to like the Houston Museum of Natural Science, and you see the dinosaurs that they put back together, 90% of those bones are fake. They're not real.
Right.
The only time
There's only one that's like
there's like
80%.
there's like a few that are real, and the ones that are real, Mike, because they have like nuts and bolts inside of them because they have to have that sort of infrastructure to keep it maintained. And so if you look at it like a big dinosaur and they don't have all those nuts and bolts in there, you can tell which ones are fake, which ones are real. I don't know. It seems flat earthy to me, but it's interesting to talk about. I mean, I believe in the Book of Enoch. Book of Enoch talks about those half angel, half human giants. I think that's real. And I think that's why they kept it out of the Bible. Ethiopians still have it in their Bible. Book of Enoch. Methuselah wrote it. Noah's dad or something.
Yeah, and this is the Book of Enoch is basically talking about a superior race that is formed by the Anunnaki, correct?
No. Now, they might be related. The Book of Enoch talks about the Nephilim. It's fallen angels who mated with humans, and they gave rise to giants. It's a little tricky.
But what they say is that these giants basically take over the earth and utilize all of its natural resources and kill the earth, basically, I think. I'd have to look into this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll
detailing watchers who are...
it's the Nephilim. Giants
the
born
Nephilim,
from the union of fallen angels called the Watchers and human women, whose deeds contributed to the corruption that led to the flood.
Yep.
But anyway, there's giants involved. Giants, dragons, dinosaurs.
And they know that the Book of Enoch was found with all of the other...
It was found with everything else.
With everything else.
They just decided to leave it out.
It was too crazy.
It was just a little too much for people.
Yeah. It was just too crazy.
So, I mean,
here's the thing. I know we went off topic here, but about Iran. I know that in a podcast a couple weeks ago, I did say, hey, I think we're 3 to 6 weeks away from this war ending. I think this is what's going to happen. I think they're going to take Karg Island. I think they're going to do this. I think they're going to do that. And
they haven't done any of that.
They haven't done any of it, but I do think that the war is going to wrap up here pretty quick. And so does the stock market. Stock market went up 1,100 points today.
Nice.
The Dow Jones went up 1,100 points. On average, I think every market was up by 2 points, maybe 2.5 points, or 2.5% points today.
And oil went down, I think.
Oil and gas went down a little bit. I think it's still hovering around that $100 a barrel. So I know a lot of my buddies here in town are very happy with the oil prices right now. I saw some of them out spending a lot of money this weekend, this last weekend. So I know that they're doing really good. So
okay, I have a question though. This is the last thing on the war because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
War ends tomorrow. Trump's 15-point peace plan goes through. Iran agrees no more uranium enrichment. Sanctions get lifted. Strait of Hormuz opens. There's no essential real regime change apart from the Ayatollah was murdered. Who wins this war in history? How does it go down?
Oh, I guess it depends on what happens between the time that they call the war over and the next 50 years.
We'll
see.
But
time will tell. I honestly think that if they sign the peace deal and they sign all of this, I think Trump even came out and said that it's not going to be NATO inspectors that go in and do it. These will be U.S. inspectors now. Because I think what was happening before is that these inspectors that were supposed to go and inspect the uranium enrichment programs that they had, they would call like 3 weeks before and be like, hey, by the way, we're planning a trip for June 1st. We're going to come down and inspect your stuff. And then Iran was like, okay, hey guys, go hide all the crazy crap that we've got and go put it somewhere else and we'll let the inspectors look at this stuff. And so I think and there's nothing saying that this won't happen again, but I think what will happen is that you will have, inspections that aren't, told about prior.
Okay, let me ask you this way. Has Iran put up a much bigger fight than you thought they would?
Oh, than I thought they would?
Yeah,
No, me, no.
No.
But the U.S. government, I think yes.
Yeah. Well, me too. Me too. I'm just like, damn.
No, I mean, if you really look at it, they've had 47 years to prepare for this.
Yeah.
They've been preparing every single day for 47 years for this.
Mike, they got like bunkers and bunkers.
Oh yeah, in the middle of mountains
like
that you can't
missiles.
find. And you have to remember, Iran is basically the size of half of the United States.
Yeah.
This is not a small country by any stretch of the imagination. You might see it on our maps that we have, and it looks like this tiny little place.
No, it's humongous.
It's humongous.
It's huge. It's huge.
Like
it's 100 million people.
Yeah, if you put Iran, the country, over the top of the United States, it takes up over half of the United States.
It's a big
country. It is a huge country.
It's a big country.
And for us to think that we've gotten all of it, you're out of your mind. No. That's never going to happen.
No. But I think we can both agree we want this war to be wrapped up. We want the American people to not suffer. And let's be done with it. We want the people of Iran to be free. We never disputed that. And we want peace in the Middle East.
Well, here's what I think Trump knows. I think Trump knows that now. He might not have known this 4 weeks ago, but I think he realizes now that this war was not a very politically good thing to do.
Popular war either. It's very unpopular.
And honestly, Trump is probably one of the best political minds of our generation.
Yeah.
I mean, and for him to do something like this, I think that it either says two things about Trump.
What?
Which are either one, which I hope this is the right one, is that Trump knows a whole bunch more than we know and is making decisions based on that. Or two,
Say it.
they've got something on him.
Maybe like an Epstein file with a 13-year-old in the 80s. I actually think that happened.
I don't think it's that.
I think it's that.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I think that it is, honestly, I think it's about money. I think they would have thrown Trump under the bus already.
Well,
if it had anything other to do than money and power.
It started with money because they bailed him out in the 80s. Wilbur Ross organized like 72 banks to bail him out with J.P. Morgan. Don't forget J.P. Morgan's relationship to the Federal Reserve and Epstein. Please don't forget those two things.
I understand, but...
And then, so when they bail him out like that, Wilbur Ross, connections with the Rothschilds and the Adelsons and all these people, they own him, dude.
Not necessarily. That's business, though, man.
They own him.
Maybe. I'm not saying that it's not that's not a possibility.
Okay, Trump changed his tune now to where now you're thinking. See, Trump's first term, you and I were both Trump supporters. I was.
Yeah.
You were. Yeah. We were. I mean, you might still be. Oh, you're still a Trump supporter. That's good. And to be honest, dude, I still have faith in the man. I do. I swear I have faith in him. He just has to confess his sins. If he confesses his sins and absolves himself of all the dirt they have on him, and he's like, you guys can't hurt me anymore, we're done. But to me, they have something.
What do you
whatever they have on him. Your option number 2, where you said they have something on him. That was your option 2.
I think it's monetary. I don't think they have. Believe me. I think that if any CIA, Mossad, DOJ, anybody had anything on Trump, he would have never been president the first time.
Well, they tried their hardest not to get him elected.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. You don't think that Bibi would have released something? He didn't want Trump.
Bibi needs Trump. Look what's happening now.
He didn't want Trump.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, I think that they might have gotten him through monetary gain.
Monetary gains.
I don't think that it's what people think it is. I don't think it's about the Epstein stuff. I think that Trump knows probably what's in the Epstein files and knows that it will just cripple the United States.
It is monetary gains because I'm telling you, they bailed him out big time. He was like bankrupt. They bailed him out.
Yes and no. The thing is that he was never in politics at that point.
Right.
And I don't think anybody even thought about him being in politics. I mean, this is one of the most crass guys in the world. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card, that Trump was going to be president.
He said it on Oprah a long time ago, that he would consider it.
Yeah, but so has a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a bunch of other people have said that they would do stuff like that and never do.
I still have faith in the orange man.
The reason that I don't think that it was done that long ago is because there are so many businesses that get bailed out for the exact same thing all the time. I have a buddy of mine who owed the bank. The bank loaned him way too much money. And it was in the bank's best interest to figure out how to do this deal without bankrupting him.
Sure.
And I think that's what Trump basically had, was he had so much debt with the bank that the bank came to him and said, hey, we're going to bankrupt you. And he's like, do it.
Yeah.
It'll look worse for you than it does for me.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, let's figure this out then.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened to a buddy of mine. I mean, the exact same thing. Yeah. And so I think that was more just business back in the past. But I do think that now, if they don't have something on him, then the other option, which I guess would be the third option, is that the information that he's getting
is wrong.
Yeah. And he is making judgment calls based upon wrong information.
Yeah.
And that the people that are closest to him giving him that information are corrupted in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that out of those three, I think that last one is probably the thing that I would put the most trust in. Yeah. Like, if I had to rate it, I think that people giving him the wrong information, I'm like 50% sure that that's probably right. I think that him being bought or sold, bought by
blackmail,
whoever, is probably 30%. And then I think the other is that he's just doing it.
Yeah. No, I think he's definitely been blackmailed.
So, which just tells you that it can happen at any level.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
All right, on to Palm Sunday, Easter Sunday,
Yeah.
and what is happening with Christians in Israel right now.
Yeah.
Since the war started February 28th, Israel has closed all Old City holy sites, Church of the Holy
Sepulcher.
the Western Wall, the Temple Mount Al-Aqsa,
Al-Aqsa.
getting close.
That's Dome of the Rock.
It's not my first language. For public safety, after an Iranian missile shrapnel hit the sepulchral roof.
Okay, cool.
Is that close enough?
Yeah, so they care about they care so much about the Christians that they're not going to let them pray.
For the first time in centuries,
Yeah.
Israeli police blocked the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, Cardinal Pizzaballa, and the Custos of Holy Land from entering the Church of Holy Sepulchre for Mass. They were turned away privately en route. Vatican and church leaders called it a grave precedent.
Yeah.
Massive outrage followed. Israel later walked it back somewhat and said they're looking for solutions for clergy access.
Yeah.
Private Christian schools also hit with teacher access issues.
Right.
The question is this a wartime necessity or the latest chapter in restrictions on Christian worship in the Holy Land?
Second one.
Why do you say that?
Because okay. Mike, if you are a Christian living in Israel and you're going to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre to worship, guess what?
Sorry.
You're Palestinian. So they don't want Palestinians to do anything. They don't want them to have freedom to pray. They don't want them to have freedom to do things. They literally are trying to demolish it, or at least next to it, and make a third temple. This is clear. This is very clear for them. They want to create the third temple. And so Christianity is not on their forefront as the 1948 state of Israel. It's not in their game plan.
Well, here's the other thing. Jewish places of worship in Jerusalem have also faced significant closures and restrictions during the ongoing war with Iran, alongside Christian and Muslim sites. So Israeli authorities imposed blanket wartime security measures on all major holy sites in Jerusalem's Old City due to the risk of Iranian missile strikes and shrapnel.
Sure. They're trying to protect everybody. They're trying to protect the Palestinians. You believe that? Are you buying that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to read about the Western Wall restrictions mean a very subdued lead up to Passover with far fewer worshipers than usual.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if anything's going to happen this weekend, because of Easter Sunday, and if Iran's going to try to make any, major attacks during Easter Sunday. I mean, we did kill the leader during Ramadan.
Don't forget, do you remember when they did the Olympics and they mocked Jesus and they mocked the Last Supper? Did you see what Iran's response to that was? They literally put out media propaganda. They were more upset about it than the Americans were, because Jesus to them is revered. I don't know why that's so confusing to American people. Muslims revere Jesus. Mary was a virgin. They claim Jesus is coming back. So I don't know.
Does the IRGC think
They're
the same way?
Muslim.
Well, I understand. There are different levels of Muslim.
They believe it, Mike. They believe it. Trust me when I tell you they believe it. I promise you this. This is the key issue when it comes to Islamophobia. If people just knew the truth, if they just understood the truth. And I said this too. Again, the Muslims don't do a good job of promoting it. I think that they could have done a much better job of bringing that to light. But they didn't, and here we are. And so trying to convince people that Mary and Jesus are all throughout the Quran, so is Moses and Noah and Abraham and Isaac and Ishmael and all these people. It's the same God. These are the three monotheistic religions. It all comes from the same tree trunk. There's just different branches now.
Yeah, so it says that in mainstream Shia Islam and Sunni Islam, Jesus is called Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, son of Mary.
Mm-hmm.
He is honored as one of the greatest prophets and messengers of God, a Ulul Azm prophet with a major mission. Muslims believe he was born of a virgin, performed miracles, and received the gospel as revelation.
Interesting.
He is the Messiah who will return before the end times to fight the Antichrist, break the cross, kill the pigs, and affirm Islam, then die a natural death. He is not divine, not the Son of God, not part of any Trinity,
How can you not be divine if your mother's a virgin?
and did not die on the cross.
I know about they don't believe he died on the cross. So I know what they believe and I know what they don't believe. But it's
So can
fun-
I quickly chime in?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
So, like, I'm Muslim, so I can answer a lot of the questions that you guys have
Beautiful.
Yes.
regarding that. So yeah, Muslims do revere Christianity as well. Like, we believe in a lot of the same things in comparison to Christians. The only major things is that Jesus was not God and he did not like die on the cross, basically, and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, the only difference is that mainly.
Right. But he's from a virgin birth. His mother was visited by Gabriel. He was sinless. He did miracles, and he's going to return.
Yes.
That's pretty Christian-like to me.
That's pretty Christian.
That's pretty Christian-like, Mike.
Yeah, I guess the only
And
thing
so-
is that they
and so-
just don't believe he's the Son of God, but
Right,
they do believe he's a prophet.
Yeah, but so that's why when people are saying like, "Oh, I'm worried about Iran hitting the church on Easter," it's like, you shouldn't be, because they're not going to. They would never do that. They're not going to do that. Could be a false flag, though. Don't forget about that.
True.
That's the other thing.
True.
Yeah.
Well, man, like I've said in so many conversations with you, propaganda is real.
Yeah,
brother.
super real, brother.
And everybody gets it, and it is so hard now, especially now, to figure out what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And it's a travesty. It really is that we can't get the truth anymore.
But so let me tell you a little bit about Jerusalem, because I've been there, I think, 7 times now.
Mm-hmm.
Jerusalem is under Israeli occupation, right? So the Palestinian Authority has no jurisdiction in Jerusalem. But there's quite a few Arabs living in Jerusalem, but they are considered to be Arab Israeli. So it's like they have Israeli IDs and they have yellow license plates, but they don't have the same rights as the Israeli people living there. And so when you talk about the church and you talk about the holy sites in Jerusalem, you have to realize these sites are cared for, visited by, and revered by Christian Palestinians who live there, right? So it's so ironic for me as a Christian Palestinian to have to explain to my American friends that if you care for the church, and if you care about Christianity, and your whole tie to that region is through Jesus, be on my side. That's my side. If you are going to do this through religion. If you want to do it through politics, by all means, support whoever you want to support. Just do not use religion to claim association against Christian Palestinians. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
We're the oldest Christian population on the planet.
Well, and apparently don't do that to Muslims either.
Yeah.
I mean, if they believe what it says they're supposed to.
Yeah,
believe.
exactly.
1.8 million Muslims live in Israel right now.
Yeah.
20% of their population is
Yeah,
Muslim.
yeah. They're all Arabic, most of them. Yeah, I would say the vast majority of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, if I think that if you were to ask me today, was this war in Iran a necessity? I would probably put the probability of that at like 5 or 10%.
No, don't forget the timing with the Epstein files, please. And I know it's so funny because we say that and people are like, because it's working. They're like,
Obviously, it's
they're like, why are you talking about Epstein? It's almost like if I was to bring up Epstein files right now, that people are like, what are you, crazy? There's a war going on. It's like,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, we
it
talked about this
worked.
almost
Right.
immediately.
It's like it worked. The
Yeah.
timing of this, no one's talking about Bill Gates. No one's talking about all these other people involved and all
Yeah.
these emails that just came out.
Yep.
You know, the timing is impeccable. If you wanted a distraction.
Well, and then Trump said that he was going to release all the alien stuff. That hasn't been released yet.
I don't know where that is.
I think that was just another one of his tricks to get everybody off of the
yeah,
Epstein stuff.
yeah, for sure. And then he said he was going to release all the JFK stuff. There's still like 10,000 documents that have not been released because they all point to
The CIA probably.
a certain foreign country too.
Well, I think that's almost one and the same at this point.
Yeah, for sure. No, it is
Yeah.
for sure. But you know, the Holy Land, Mike. If you saw Bethlehem, brother, you would cry. I swear to God, you would cry. You should just see it. The whole damn city is just like concrete barriers. It's not even like a fence. Like Gaza has fences. Bethlehem, 3-story tall concrete barriers surrounding the whole thing. That's a Christian city. Bethlehem was predominantly and I think to this day it's still, 80% Christian? There's a ton of Christian Palestinian cities. Taiba, same thing. Taiba is constantly under attack by settlers. Constantly. They're Christian. They're all Christian. And it's like, what are we doing here? You're going to support, if your support for them is through Christianity, how can you support this? Support the Christians. And there used to be
25 Christians live in Bethlehem today. That is 10% of the city's population.
So I just looked into something real quick.
Yeah.
Going back to the church and the people being stopped from like going to the churches.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two things that happened. Number one, the churches were stopped, and the second thing, during the month of Ramadan, at Al-Aqsa Mosque, they couldn't let Muslims do their prayers at night.
Right.
Of course, it's because of large masses, and that makes sense, and during a time of war. But what's interesting to me is the Jewish, the wall, basically, that has remained open, but the only limitation that they have put onto it is 50 people at a time.
Yeah.
It's still open. They did not halt it or anything like that.
The Wailing Wall, the Western Wall, which
So
isn't
that's just
part
an
of the temple,
observation.
by the way. It's actually part of a Roman fort.
Well, I got to tell you, man, the amount of, it's different than 9/11, right?
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Iraqi war, because they had basically 100% of the U.S. on board.
Yeah, after 9/11.
Because they just propagandized us to death.
Well,
I mean,
even
had
me.
no way. We
No,
had no,
Mike,
everyone.
we all became desensitized to war and death and all those things. We're
Yeah.
like, "God, they killed us. They attacked our buildings. Go get them.
Yeah.
We don't even know who they were.
Yeah.
We're just like, go get them. Oh, Afghanistan. Well, let's go to Iraq. It's like way over here. Let's just jump there. Shit, let's go to Libya while we're at it.
We should have been in Iran this whole time.
Nobody had nothing to do with 9/11. It's just insane. But now you see the power of something like a 9/11. Do you see what it did to us?
Yeah, and not only that. I mean, the stuff that came out in the I guess it was the 60s or 70s. About all of the places that Israel wanted us to create war with.
Sure.
And the last one was Iran.
Yeah.
And now we did it. And so
No.
they've gotten all 7.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
And that's what I was saying. Like, if Iran gets neutralized, there is nobody to stop Israel. Nobody. They will take Lebanon. They will take Syria. They will take Egypt.
The United States isn't going to say no.
No, of course not. No,
Every politician.
Israel,
every single politician.
Israel could never do what they're doing without the United States support.
100%.
It is impossible.
100%.
So they had to create that psychological operation
Right.
about the Judeo-Christian thing.
I'm just
do all
wondering
these things.
how much of what Trump is seeing and hearing is real.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
That's-
I think he's getting false information.
I think every president
But
is.
you know what's funny
think
about
every
me, dude?
president
Like
is.
I used to love Trump. I used to love this man. I thought he was the coolest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
This messed up tan, messed up hair, orange man coming into power, telling everybody what to do. No filter. The man is definition of filterless,
Yeah.
which you and I can appreciate.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
It's one thing I love about him.
Yeah, I loved it. And then now it's just like, dude, like that's why I'm keep saying they got him. They got him. That's what I think.
I sure hope not.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the problem is that it keeps looking more and more
Yeah.
like something
Yeah.
is afoot.
Yeah.
All right. We can jump into the Charlie Kirk assassination, or we can go to the Joe Kent thing.
No, the Charlie Kirk thing is good with all this. There's two breaking headlines that came out this morning. The first is that the defense for Tyler James Robinson submitted documentation that the bullets don't match the .30-06. That's the first thing. Second thing is sheriff
That the bullet fragments that they have
from the
don't
autopsy.
seem to be from that rifle.
Right.
They haven't conclusively said
Right,
that. I just
right.
want to make sure.
Yeah,
that
no,
we-
this is all part of their defense. They
say
just
it the right
submitted
way.
documentation that they're going to argue on that behalf. And the second thing that I found was interesting was that Sheriff Dana, and if you go back and hear what Candace had to say about Sheriff Dana, or at least that whole process about Tyler James Robinson turning himself in, a lot of weirdness there, Mike. It was not voluntary the way they made it sound. And that dude resigned today.
Well, I got to tell you, I've hunted a lot in my life, and I've used a 30-06
Yeah,
to hunt
yeah,
before.
yeah.
One of the first deer I ever shot was with a 30-06 because I didn't have a rifle at the time, and my buddy's dad, Rod Keeler, rest in peace, he died last year, allowed me to use his rifle to shoot a deer. This was probably a 120-pound deer.
Yeah.
I shot it directly in the shoulder, and it blew a hole out of the other shoulder of that deer
yeah.
that was about, I don't know, about this big, something like that.
Think about a neck, Mike.
I'm sorry, but there should have been a hole in the back of Charlie Kirk.
No hole. No
And there
exit wound.
wasn't.
No
There
exit
was no
wound.
exit wound.
Superman neck.
And I am sorry, but a 30-06 will kill an elephant.
Why didn't they plan it better?
Literally.
Like, why
It'll
didn't they
kill-
plan it better?
A 30-06 will kill every
Yeah.
single animal in North America.
Well-
It'll kill a lion, a 700-pound lion. Like, this is the gun that they use for big game hunting.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it is very, very well known that they shoot Cape buffalo with these
Okay,
things.
so you don't believe the 30-06 killed Charlie?
I do not think that the round that hit him here, from what the video shows, was a 30-06.
Okay.
There's no way.
So do you think Tyler James Robinson killed Charlie Kirk? Okay, I'm going to say no.
I don't know.
Did
I don't
you know?
There's a lot of
Okay,
evidence that shows
so-
that he did, though. That's the problem.
Oh, like him jumping off the building with a gun somewhere? Where's the gun?
Yeah, and them saying that he took the gun apart and then jumped
And then
off the building.
reassembled it? Took the gun apart
Bruh,
and then
you are
reassembled
not taking
it?
that gun apart in 30 seconds.
Well, that's what they said.
It's not happening.
And by the way, when they swept that wooded area, there was no gun. There was no gun until the feds came. They had dogs sweeping that area. I kept up with Candace every day for weeks after this thing.
Well,
And
but
so
they found the gun pretty much the same day.
they found the gun the same day after that area was
Right.
already swept by dogs.
Yeah.
The feds came. Then they found the gun, wrapped in a nice dark towel.
I am 100% on board with. There is definitely something here that we don't see,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
we're not getting the information
yeah, yeah.
on.
So, yeah, I think
How
you're saying
much
it
of it-
without saying it, that you obviously know that there's a lot of bullshit with this
There has to
Fed
be.
slop.
There has to be.
Yeah, a lot
there
of
has to
bullshit.
be.
And they're not even investigating. What happened?
How the whole thing went down, and then the other crazy part is just weeks after, they completely demolish
Yeah.
where it happened. They rip the concrete up, they rip the grass up, they rip all of it up on this Utah campus.
I think it was the next day.
I don't think it was the next day, but it was it wasn't that long after.
I think it was
Adib,
the
can you pull
next
that up?
day.
When did they do the construction or the demolition?
When did they pave over Charlie Kirk's shooting site?
It was very, very close to when. I want to say like 10
Within
days.
days. Within days.
Yeah. Like, what?
As early as September 11th. He was shot on September 10th.
I would like to know when that permit was pulled.
I would like to know when a lot of things happened with that whole story. I mean, that's why we'll have Kelly on, but she knows way more than we do. Way more.
So we were supposed to have
Way
a guest
more.
today,
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah.
How do you say her last name?
Raybon?
Raybon?
Yeah.
Kellier
Keller.
on Instagram, Kelir. But we will have her on here in probably the next episode you'll see from us. She'll be on it to talk more about this stuff. But there are a ton of conspiracies.
Can you let me know the question again real quick?
Oh,
Oh, it
I
was
think we found
no,
it.
no. We got it.
Yeah, we found
We were
it.
trying to figure out
It was
when
just a
they
few
started
days
paving
after
over.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There are too many things, too many moving targets with this thing.
No.
Too many conspiracies popping up. Too much stuff about Erica Kirk and what her connections in the past are.
Let's
things
go.
like that.
You saw the Drewski video? That's pretty cool.
There's a viral clip from 2013 documentary called Black Start on EMP power grid threats that shows Erica in a briefing style segment along ex-CIA director James Woolsey.
Yeah.
Like,
What is that?
what?
What is that?
What?
What is that?
I'm sorry, but if you're making a video for the CIA,
Don't you work for
you
them?
have connections with the CIA.
Very well said.
But, I mean, whether or not they're loose
Very-
or
oh,
well tied,
and then don't forget-
the connection's there for
And
sure.
there's definitely connections with the family too. It's very
And
interesting.
then, in the most hilarious fashion, Drewski, sorry, dropped my phone. Drewski comes out and dropped a sketch on how conservative women act in America.
Yeah.
He had white face, a blonde wig, heavy makeup, an outfit that looked just like Erica Kirk, or the outfit that she wore to Charlie's
the white one. Funeral.
memorial.
Celebration, right?
It went super viral,
Yeah.
tens of millions of views. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was
Her response was, if I did blackface, I'd be canceled and called racist, which that's basically like someone else pulling the race card.
Yeah.
Right? Do you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
it's like other people being like, oh, you're racist. Oh, you're racist.
Sure.
And it's like, I'm sorry. It's a hilarious sketch.
It's pretty funny.
It's a hilarious sketch.
pretty funny.
And that's what it should be left as
Yeah.
as a hilarious sketch.
But it's also quite offensive to people that still think she's just a grieving widow and that she was not,
here's the thing.
you know.
I can give her the grieving widow thing
Sure.
up to a certain point.
Sure.
But 48 hours removed and you're on a phone call with TPUSA cracking jokes.
Talking about merch and hats
talking about
and sales.
merchandise and hat sales and things like that and how good the company's doing
Yeah.
because of your husband's death.
Oh.
Like, I would be pissed off if Vivian did that. Like,
Yeah.
if I died in the way that he did, let's say that somebody came in here and shot me at this podcast, and then 2 minutes later, Vivian's online selling Filterless podcast merch and shit like that, I'd be rolling over in my grave, bro. I'd be like, you better stay at the house and cry for a week.
I
I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah, no, it's a little crazy, man. I'm scared to talk about her because I don't want to get sued. I mean, I'm serious. She is unhinged, this one, and
Some of the faces that she makes, bro.
I
when she's talking
defended her.
about people
Dude.
that are making fun or cracking, and she has these looks, and you're like, whoa.
She's an actress, Mike.
Obviously.
She's been in several
Obviously.
commercials, CIA commercial.
Yeah.
That's
the craziest
How do
thing.
you get in a CIA commercial, by the way?
I have no idea.
So let me ask you this, right? CIA is making a commercial about the dangers of EMP, right? Is there like an ad out there in a newspaper? Hey, we need a hot blonde actress to do this for us.
I know what they're going to say. I know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Is that some guy at the CIA saw her win the Miss Universe thing or whatever and was like, oh, she's the perfect fit. Let's reach out to her as an actress or whatever. But still, that
means you
regardless
know
of that,
somebody.
You're still connected to the CIA.
Yeah, I don't
You're
think
still connected.
I don't think the CIA is putting out ads for actresses, right?
Maybe. At this point, I don't put anything past the CIA, brother.
No, same. But it's interesting, man. The Erica Kirk thing is, dude, like, and I defended her big time at the beginning. I was like, no, she's not. She has nothing to do with any of. There's no way. They have kids and blah blah blah. But apparently their marriage was on the rocks, big time. This is all like per Candace, and that
So
he was
allegedly,
getting close
yeah.
to, cutting the cord.
I don't
And
see that
then
at all.
there's-
I don't see that at all.
there's-
he was. I think he was way too much of a Christian to just throw his marriage away.
Well, we don't know what was happening behind the
We
scenes,
don't know what's
right?
happening
We have no
behind the
idea.
scenes.
We have no idea.
But I'm telling you right now, there is nothing that I have ever seen on any of, and there is
Okay,
hours
but-
of footage
but-
where he is not overly in love
I know,
with his wife.
but Mike,
That does not mean that she wasn't doing this the whole time. I'm not saying that, especially with her ties to the CIA.
Mike.
Like that right there, in and of itself, is crazy.
think about it this way. If the woman was a honeypot and Charlie Kirk was a devout Christian man, and he figured it out, or at least he figured out that she didn't marry me for the right reasons, wouldn't that be enough of a...
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like
maybe.
it's like it didn't have to be like a Charlie thing, like we just have to give up on this. It was just like he kind of realized that, hey, this girl didn't marry me because she loved me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, the anecdotal evidence that we see
Yeah.
of what her actions were
Right.
immediately following his assassination.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Very strange.
Very, very strange.
Agreed.
I mean, so strange that all of these conspiracy theories have popped up because of it.
there's-
Honestly,
there-
that's one of the reasons. If she would have been a real grieving widow,
Yeah, she did it. She attracted negative attention.
she
for sure.
attracted.
Yeah, she did.
100%.
100%.
Whether or not all
No.
of this stuff is true or not doesn't
yeah.
matter. Her actions
Yeah.
are the reason why these
Yeah.
conspiracies are happening.
sure, for
It's
sure.
because of what she did and said
For sure.
in those moments.
For sure.
Now, I can give her a bunch of grace and say that, if
Everyone
something
grieves
were to
differently.
right, everyone grieves differently, and something tragic just happened. Your kids were able to witness their dad get murdered in front of them. You saw him get murdered in front of you. Like, that's very traumatic. But that's also why her actions after the fact are so outrageous.
Pretty bizarre.
So outrageous. She comes out at the next TPUSA event, which is like 10 days later, with sparkly outfit, fireworks going off, her smiling, waving. This is such a great event. We're going to sell so much merchandise.
Yeah.
Like, your husband was just
died.
killed on national
Not just
television.
died, violently murdered.
Violently
on live
murdered. On live
television in
TV,
front of
basically.
Everybody, yeah.
So it's just a weirdest thing to me.
Also, I'm not sure if you guys know this. I'm just finding out about this right now. Trump named Erica Kirk, he appointed her to the advisory board of the U.S. Air Force, and he did that privately. Like he made no public announcement. This is from The Guardian.
This is recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
What day was this on?
Yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah.
March 10th. So this is when
What? When did Trump?
the article was released.
And what does she have to do with the Air Force except that she takes a lot of unmarked planes, supposedly, per Candace?
Let me see this.
Or at least there's planes following her.
All right. So it says that he appointed Erica Kirk to the U.S. Air Force Academy Board of Visitors in early March 2026. Specifically, her name appeared on the board's official website around March 8th or 10th, with public reporting starting March 10th. She is a member of the U.S. Air Force Academy Board of Visitors, a 16-member advisory board that oversees the academy in Colorado Springs. The board advises on curriculum, morale, discipline, instruction, facilities, and other matters relating to the academy. It reports to the Secretary of Defense and the President. This appointment replaces her late husband, Charlie Kirk, who had been appointed by Trump to the same board
That's not that
in
big of
March
a deal.
2025.
Yeah, that's not that big of a deal.
Well, then I see. I get that.
Yeah. It's just like a bullshit appointing.
It's an appointment in name only.
It's something for your CV.
Yeah, it's something for your LinkedIn page, basically. Yeah, but still, man, this was the wife of, right? The wife of. She didn't have this past of coming up through the ranks like he did, posting all these YouTube videos, getting out and in front of people and debating them with a smile and with dignity and giving everyone a chance to speak. That's what Charlie Kirk did.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was one of the most unifying people in the history of the United States. I mean, I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And I think he had a heart of gold. Like, I really do believe that everything that man said, he truly believed. Whether he was wrong or right, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But when you have conviction,
He had conviction.
he had it. He had conviction about his faith. He had conviction about who he was as an individual and who he was as a man. And he had conviction about how people should interact with other people.
Yeah. Like he had his ideas about like a utopian society, but essentially it all came from a Christian perspective.
From a Christian perspective.
Right. And so you can't argue with that. That's why it was so hard to debate him, because
Right.
he was essentially taking on, and I hate to use these terms, but he was kind of taking on the role of like the what would Jesus do bracelet.
Yeah.
It's like he always wore that.
A modern day prophet.
Yeah, you could say that almost. Yeah, you could almost say that. He definitely, it was hard to win a debate against him because he always backed up what he said with scripture.
Yeah,
It's
in
hard.
fact.
It's hard.
Yeah. And when you have that much conviction, and the ability to verbalize it properly,
Yeah.
and retain the knowledge,
Sure.
right? That's a trifecta
Sure.
of a human, and obviously,
And what were
they
the-
wanted to remove him.
and what were the-
I think that in the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Now, when in the next 20 years, I don't know, but at some point, Charlie Kirk would have run for president of the
Yeah,
United
yeah,
States.
for sure.
And I honestly think he would have won.
And what was he relentless on that he would not stop talking about? Two things. Epstein, war against Iran. He was relentless on those two topics.
Especially right before his assassination.
Especially right before.
Especially right before. his
And then he started to have,
which is not a coincidence.
and this is not debatable, guys. He was starting to change his feelings on Israeli politics.
He even sent a letter to Bibi Netanyahu,
Yeah.
basically saying, "Look, I'm with you guys,
Yeah.
but you have to do something
Yeah,
about this
he's
because this is not
No,
good."
and I read that letter. He was basically telling him, look, it's getting really hard to defend your actions.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that letter said.
That's exactly what it
no,
said.
And then, yeah, dude. It's
Summarized very shortly.
Yeah,
but it is,
yeah,
hey guys, we're losing
For sure.
the war
Popular
of political
opinion.
opinion.
Yes, we're losing
that,
Right.
and we need to do something about that,
Right.
which means we got to change what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he wasn't for lying, right? It's not like Charlie was like, hey, just let's make something up. That wasn't him.
No.
That was not him.
No,
He was basically telling them, help me help you.
he definitely came with facts every time he had anything,
For sure.
and everything that he said was extremely thought out.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he's a voice of reason that I think the world really, really needed. And because of that, I think that's why he was killed.
Yeah, and then Charlie too, I'll never forget, and we talked about this on the pod last time, Mike, where I said, October 7th was kind of like a 9/11 type vibe for Palestinian people because we saw it and we were like, that's not possible. How are they doing that? There's no way Israel would allow these people to carry out these atrocities. There's just no way. And Charlie was the first person I saw publicly say that. And when I saw Charlie say that, I swear on everything that is holy, my eyes lit up, my heart got big. I was like, oh, that's it. He knows. He knows what's up. Nobody else knows. Charlie knows. He's going to expose them. He's going to keep digging. And then he kind of got quiet on it. He got real quiet on it because they told him, shh, don't say that. Don't talk like that. Then he started slowly mustering up enough strength.
I think probably what happened is he finally got maybe a little bit of truth and started to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then when the pushback came, he was like, you know what, let me dive a little bit further. Let me make sure that what I'm saying is accurate here.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I think he went quiet for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I think that's why he came out again and was like, oh, no. I've done my research now.
Well,
now I know.
well, the other thing, too-
And we need to do something. I think that's why he wrote the letter to Bibi. And I think that's why he started to say these things a lot more publicly.
Yeah. But
Was then. And then probably, 10 days after that, he got killed?
after he made those comments about October 7th, and that comment happened like very shortly thereafter.
It happened on PBD podcast.
Yeah, it happened on PBD, and it was not that long after October 7th. I remember. And then he caught a lot of heat for that. Remember, he keeps telling us about his donors. He lost a lot of money. He keeps saying that.
It just goes to show you. I mean, if you believe everything coming out of Israel right now, they're basically saying that only small pieces of shrapnel have come in and hit us, right? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
That it's not very bad destruction. We've had a few of them hit targets, but not very many at all. And they're even saying that thousands of missiles and thousands of these drones have come over, but they've intercepted all of them.
Yeah.
Well, then how in the world did October 7th happen with paragliders?
That's a great question.
Like, if you're able to get 99% of missiles that are traveling
missiles.
2,200 miles an hour.
You can't hit a paratrooper on a freaking Mario Kart looking hang glider?
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On bicycles and dirt bikes and shit?
So which one is it?
Exactly. And the same thing goes to this whole demolition of Gaza, right? It's like, oh, we have the most advanced drone and assassination capabilities on the planet. You guys want to negotiate in Qatar? No thanks. Boom. Precise strike. But yet you can't find Hamas in some tunnels. You have to demolish where 2.2 million poor Palestinian souls live.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Well, It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because I think Israel could have done in Gaza what we did in Venezuela.
Yeah.
And not blown everything and everyone to bits.
Of course, that was but see, now you understand that was the whole
And
goal.
then I also think that Israel had to have known something was going to or about to happen on October 7th, and I think that they either allowed it to happen or paused things so it could happen.
Yeah.
Because even Charlie Kirk said, "Hey, if you've ever been there, you know,
Yeah,
like you can't sneeze without the IDF knowing that what's
It's
going
the
on
most
that close to the border."
heavily guarded border
Yeah.
in the world. Dude.
By the way, you have a mohawk right now.
Oh, I got a mohawk. Let me fix that. Thank you.
Gotcha, brother.
Yeah, good call.
Well, man, anything else you want to go over?
Can we do the Joe Kent thing?
Oh yeah. Let's go to Joe.
Okay.
Kent. All right, let me set it up real quick. Joe Kent resignation plus the DOJ FBI case conspiracy. Excuse me. Joe Kent, ex-NCTC director, a Trump appointee, 11 combat deployments, and his wife was killed by
Syria.
ISIS in Syria. He resigned March 17th in protest over the Iran war, saying it betrayed Trump's original America First foreign policy and was pushed by high-ranking Israeli officials and influential American media. Immediately, Joe Kent went on to Tucker after his resignation and doubled down, also hinting the Kirk assassination investigation might have foreign angles the DOJ and FBI just won't touch.
Right.
Some reports say that Kent was already under FBI investigation, predating his resignation for alleged classified leaks. Some of these leaks, I think, are the ones that they think Tucker leaked also to Iran, apparently. Some see the timing as retaliation. Others say it validates his claim about deep state neocon pressure. McConnell and others called it anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Kent's now appearing with Candace Owens. So what are your thoughts on the resignation, the DOJ and FBI not touching the foreign angles with the Charlie Kirk assassination, and what he's saying about what's going on in Iran and the Israeli lobby?
I'm in full
agreement.
agreement with Joe Kent. I think he's a patriot. I think he's a hero. I think that he's spot on with everything, and I'm very proud of a guy like him for resigning over what he believes to be true. So basically, the man threw in his ID, his card, all of his, high ranking. I mean, he's director of national counterterrorism. That's like a big deal, right? I mean, that's not like you're walking away from like a desk job here, right? He's like, no.
Well, I guess it is a desk
Can't
job.
And he's like, nope, I'm out, done. I have to go tell my truth, and that's what he's doing. So he's making his rounds, and he's getting as much information out as he can right now. But if they silence him, I mean, he's in danger. Mike, I believe all these people are in danger. Tucker, Candace, Joe Kent, you name it. There's a lot of people who I think have put their necks on the line to speak their truth, and when they have enough of a following and they have enough people who are asking a lot of questions about the government and concealing information, Thomas Massey's another one, MTG's another one, I think these people are in legitimate danger. And if they all get silenced or if they all get unalived, we have nobody. We're done.
Yeah.
So for me, Joe Kent basically, it's like a group of Avengers, and Joe Kent was like, I'm on board.
This is another one of those things for me to where I think that a lot of what he's saying is factual, but I think the reason that he's doing it at this moment in time is because he might be getting in trouble for leaking classified information.
Well, here's the thing about classified.
Both can be true at the same time. I want to preface this with what he's saying can be 100% true, and it can also be true that he leaked classified information. Like both of those things can be true at the same time.
And then here's my point: as an American citizen who wants to know the truth, declassify everything. Start with the Epstein files. I'm okay with declassifying things. That's what I want. I want things to be declassified. Declassify 9/11, declassify JFK, aliens, you name it.
Yeah.
It's like I am pro declassification. So you want me to be upset at Joe Kent for potentially releasing classified information? To me, that's like good. Good for you, Joe.
I wonder how much of the information that the government has is classified.
This whole redaction classification thing, they mark out. It's just such bullshit.
Now versus 1970.
You see how easily they use that term classified? It's their way of saying, shut up, America, you have no right to know anything. That's what they do. It's for national security.
So this is the question that I just asked it. How much of the information that the government has now versus 1970 is classified, percentage-wise?
Right.
Sorry. It says there's no precise apples-to-apples percentage comparing how much information was classified percentage-wise. Often cited, the government classifies tens of millions of documents per year.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's classified.
Okay, in the 1970s, new original classifications were in the low hundreds of thousands annually, and now it's tens of millions of documents per year. We are absolutely in a classified war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The government classifies things that doesn't even need to be classified.
No.
And I think there should be a complete overhaul of our classification system.
How much of that happened with the Patriot Act post 9/11 too?
Oh, I would
I'm
imagine
sure a
that
tremendous
the majority of this is because of 9/11.
So let's see what happened post 9/11. Everything gets classified, destabilize the Middle East, spy on everybody.
Yeah, and it's all happening right now.
It's all happening right now.
And has been since November of 2001. I think that's when the Patriot Act was passed.
Yeah.
Something like that. November, December.
So now people see people would ask the question, well, if you think that some aspects of the U.S. government was involved in 9/11, why? That's your answer.
Oh,
right.
Power.
That's your answer. Right.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Because people are like, why would anybody want to attack their own country? What we just said. That's the answer.
Oh, and the United States has done this before.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have killed Americans before in attacks all over the world.
Yeah.
Obama killed somebody
Yeah.
with a drone attack.
Yeah.
A U.S. citizen.
Yeah. No, it's wild.
They don't care.
They don't care. Nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares.
They don't care.
It's getting out of control, but we're losing power as civilians.
That is true, and they are making it harder and harder and harder for us to know the real facts.
Yeah.
By classification, by propaganda, by how once something is unclassified, how they release things that they know aren't true with the classification.
Yeah.
And try to muddy the waters.
And they've put us in a box too, Mike. They put us in this little crazy conspiracy quacky box, right?
Yeah, but
But there's more of us now.
I don't think that I think that there's people on both extremes, the left extreme and the right extreme, that are both woke, right, in their own rights. That it doesn't matter what comes out; they're just going to believe what they believe because they're just followers and they're sheep people. But I think the majority of the middle, which I think is probably 60, 70, 80% of us, now realize that these conspiracies aren't necessarily always conspiracies.
Exactly.
That a lot of these things actually come to fruition and are actually true.
It is a great time to be a conspiracy theorist, I'll tell you that.
And so the problem is that no matter what conspiracy, you can find facts on both sides of it on the internet.
Yeah.
And they both look true.
They never accounted for the internet.
We've talked about this.
They could never
If
predict.
the United States government, the CIA, understood what the internet would become, we'd have never got it.
No.
We'd have never got it.
No, they never realized the power of it.
It'd be 1969 forever.
No. And I was talking with someone the other night about this, about how when we used to have to do a book report back in the day,
you actually had to read the book.
Pre-cell phone, pre-internet, we had to go to the library, Mike, and pull out old newspaper clippings.
This is what you hoped. You hoped you got a book that had a bunch of stuff highlighted in it already.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, for sure.
And that way you knew, okay, the highlighted parts are probably the only thing that I really need to know.
Yeah.
Because somebody
So
before me used this book for it and highlighted the important parts.
So then imagine you're trying to get information about World War II, or you're trying to get information
But
about
now the
something.
problem is we know who writes the books.
Yeah.
That's the other issue.
We know that now.
They just happen to be Jewish.
Yeah. You said it on me. You said it on me.
It's true though. It's not.
It's
not
Ghislaine
anything other
Maxwell's
than
dad.
facts.
Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, McGraw
Yeah.
Hill. Yeah.
McGraw-Hill writes most of the textbooks
Yeah.
for most of the independent school
Even
districts
for
across
medicine.
the country.
Even for medicine.
Really?
Yeah, at the ACC, there was a McGraw Hill thing.
That's crazy.
I went up to the dude and I even brought it up. I started talking to him about it.
That's
He's like, yeah, I heard that. And I was like, yeah, no, that's a thing, bro.
He
You
worked
should-"
for them and he's like, "I heard it?"
Yeah, he worked for them.
What do you
and
mean you
I
heard
was
it?
like, hey, did you know that at some point in time, and I tried to be cool about it. I didn't want to like hit him too hard. I was like, did you know at some point in time that McGraw-Hill, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was involved in this? He was like, yeah, I heard that. And I was like, yeah, no, that's a real thing, bro. You should look into that. So I don't know who owns it now or if there isn't any involvement, but no, it's interesting. All of the books we read for medicine, it's them too. They own textbook education, these people. And so that's a huge monopoly. Huge.
Let me see.
And really, it only matters when it comes to history, right? So it's almost like they did it for, obviously there's money to be made, a shit ton of money to be made, but then also they can write history through their lens. And that's not good.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
That's all right. Well, brother, that's another episode of the Filterless podcast.
Filterless podcast, season 2.
We have jumped into a bunch of stuff over the last few weeks, primarily hitting on Iran and what's going on in the Middle East right now. We are going to start bringing up some more U.S.-based talks and have some fun about some stuff. As long as we have time to do that. So we appreciate all you guys, man, all the clips. Y'all give us so much love. We've had hundreds and hundreds of comments on most of our clips, so we really appreciate it. I think one of our clips ended up getting like 30-something thousand views already, which for our little podcast is unbelievable. So we really appreciate you guys. Share our clips as much as you can, and give us a subscribe and a follow. So, but we appreciate y'all, and good to see you, Dr. KK. I love you, man. Be good. Bye-bye.
Bye.